Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Bill Staten. What else you want me to say? Of course, I coached at Colonel White. I was actually the first coach at Thurgood when they changed schools. Coached at Trotwood, and I coached at Sinclair Community College for a year. In that year, we got to the Nationals. We were national runner-ups, actually, in 1998.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really know that.
So
Of course, at Colonel White, we won the state in 1990.
What was that team like, man?
Very talented team, man. You know, probably one of the better or maybe best teams that came out here. I'm not gonna say they were the best, but a lot of talent. Part of the problem was Colonel White didn't really have that kind of winning tradition at that time, and I think just wasn't really prepared for all the things that you had to deal with. I think that I think the kids and the coaching staff to a degree thought we had so much talent that we didn't have to work that hard.
How long had you been coaching over there? Before
that actually was my third year coaching. So, being kind of new to the game, it kind of came quick. Kind of got spoiled. The reason I say I got spoiled was because it came so soon in terms of winning the state that I thought that I'd surely go back.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in some ways I didn't realize how hard it was to win a state. But and I don't want to come across as being judgmental, but I kind of understood that we had to work harder than we was working. So like I say, I don't want to really come across as being judgmental, but it took a while to make everybody understand. I think one of the number one problems I felt at that time, we had too many coaches. We had too many coaches, and with coaches come a lot of egos. And there was really not a lot of agreement in terms of how we should have been putting this team together. Everybody had their own idea about why we wasn't being as successful as we were. Because I think I heard you talking to Ricardo, and he mentioned about that we lost the whole month of January or something. I don't know if we lost the whole month or any month, but we went through a tailspin. And like I say, at that time, it was a lot of disagreement about why we were going through it.
Who was the coach? Who was on that coaching staff?
Of course, Clem was the head coach. Myself, Winborn, Lasley, Joe Washington, and Prentice Haney.
So you had 6 coaches.
Yeah.
You was coaching at the time. What was you coaching at the time?
Well, I was coaching the freshmen.
Okay.
But of course, I was coaching with the varsity. I was really, and truthfully, that caused a lot of dissension because I was coaching with the varsity and I was basically the top assistant. I'm not trying to, be arrogant or anything, but I was the top assistant. And then you had older coaches that felt like they were being disrespected. See, it's a lot more to that than people really realize. Because at the end of the year, the principal, who was H. Ray Davis, took all the coaches off the bench. So through our tournament run, it was just myself and Tom. We were the only coaches on the bench.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot more to it than people really realize. But yeah, it was just me and Clem on the bench.
Before the season started, you guys find out that you got a chance to get Javon.
Oh yeah. Him and Rick was good friends. And I think he had a disagreement with his coach at Jefferson, may have set him out late in the season or something. So the rumors came around that Scales was going to transfer to Colonel White, which he did. And so, of course, that raised the stock. We thought we were going to have a good team anyway.
Yeah.
But to get Javon Scales, that's the piece to put you over the hump.
And at this time, Hoggy was, what was Hoggy like?
In terms of what?
How did he do his junior year? What was he like on the court?
Hoggy was Hoggy. Hoggy was tough. I mean, can't really say nothing bad about Hoagie. He was tough. He was our leader.
Yeah, it was.
He was the guy that was putting us where we needed to be, especially that junior year, because we really didn't have a lot of talent. We really surprised people that year because we had most of the guys on varsity that year was on the JV team as juniors.
So your first year coaching was the year that Dunbar won the state. 87, 88? Or was it 88, 89? Around that time though. They
didn't win the state that year.
In 87, 88, they won in 86, 87?
My first year coaching, when I first came back to Dayton, I remember they did win the state the first year I came back to Dayton. That's when they had Mark Baker and Kirk Taylor, of course Haley's son, Troy Harris, and some other kids that were pretty good. But they had so much, they were so deep that a lot of people contributed. But yeah, they won the state that year, and then Mark's junior year. No, that was Mark Baker's junior year. Kirk was a senior. Mark came back their senior year, they did not win it. I think they got upset by Beaver Creek.
And they style of play.
They gonna come at you, full press your whole game. When I first came back to Dayton, I had my own ideas about how I wanted to coach, and I wanted to be a type of coach that created my offense off my defense. And when I got back to Dayton, Ohio, there was Dunbar. I'm like, that's the way I want to coach, and that's what Mike did. Mike Haley. Mike was not a strategy coach, but he was just going to outwork you, and he won some tough state championships. Because that year they beat Cleveland St. Joseph's, who had Treg Lee, William Buford, Eric Riley. These guys was like 6'10", 6'9", 6'8". Treg Lee was like a McDonald's All-American. They had Desmond Howard, who's the football player, and Elvis Graybach, that played for Michigan and played pro football. They had a very talented team, and Haley them took it to them. They took it to them. Then the championship game, I think Kirk sprained his ankle. Baker sprained his ankle. And they still won. Kirk Taylor had a hell of a tournament.
First game of the season. Who you got first game of the season?
Talking about the year we won the state?
Yeah.
Meadowdale.
There was rumors flying around that,
There's always rumors.
But
there was rumors that
Skelton was going to drop 40 ball.
The first rumor was he wanted to come to Colonel White.
Oh, that was a rumor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that was...
the other part of the rumor was, his dad wanted him to be guaranteed X amount of shots.
Because he was going to Ohio State. And he had to make sure it looked...
Jamie was tough. So we played him the first game. I think he got probably 40-something because, number one, the coach left him in the whole game. We beat him 133-87. So we beat him by 46 points. But he played him the whole game, So
when did you realize that this was a team?
Well, you kind of saw it through the summer. Once Scales had made that, decision to come to Colonel White, you're looking at state. You got this kid, he coming from Jefferson, he's all state. You got Hoagie, who's all state. You got Jeff, that's a Division I player. You got Ricardo, who was talented as heck, didn't know his talent at that time.
D1 player.
Yeah. You had Will Watkins, that was very tough. And then you had a slew of guys like Robert Jenkins, Robert Caldwell, Durrell Thomas, Macedo Kidd, Kenny Gladney, Brian Seege. So you had the Mike Norton and Ron Emerson, because Emerson started a lot. But so you had the star players, you had the role players. You had the perfect blend, and you were pretty deep. So you automatically think you're gonna have a chance to win the state. And then at that same time they dropped us down to D2. We were D1. And D2's not easy, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as hard as D. You probably got some teams it's probably the quantity. You know, you got some quality, but you don't have the quantity the D1 got. D1, you know, you probably have a lot more tougher games to get to the state, you know. So you still got some teams you got to beat. But that road ain't as hard as it is D1, you know, because back then, you had to have about 4 D1 players to win the state. It ain't nothing like now. You might not have 1 D1 player and win the state. You had to have 4 D1 players to win the state.
Was there any games in the tournament that really could have went either way?
Yeah. CJ. I know they had Chris McGuire, Julian.
Young Hoskins?
He was a freshman. They do a good job down there, you know, and they're going to make the game a chess match.
Was Staley, who was the coach?
Joe Staley. We had played him early in the year at CJ. You know, you never get a call. But we fell right into their trap. You know, they hold the ball forever. Somebody on our team fall asleep. They get a layup or whatever. Then we rush back down the other end and fire up a shot. Then we're right back there on defense. So, you know, we just totally, but like I say, I think that was the time we were arrogant. We didn't think nobody could beat us. We was arrogant. And I had concerns that we wasn't working hard enough, you know. But anyway, so when we played them in the tournament time, we had to really sit down and make the young people understand that you got to be patient. You got to play defense. If you have to play defense for 2 minutes, you're going to have to play it. Nobody can fall asleep. And when we come down, we got to run our offense. So that was the toughest game. We beat them, I think, 54-52. That was the hardest game. And Javon Scales was a man. He was a man.
Led y'all to the victory.
18 points and 24 rebounds in a 54-52 game. Think about that. It's not much offense. It's not a whole lot of possessions.
Yeah.
So that means he's cleaned the glass on everything that goes up, you know? So, yeah, Javon Scales was a man. But it took a team effort, you know, but he was the difference.
This segment was sponsored by Login Gaming, Making Memories Golf Classic.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy D-Cash. Check out SE Live 365, the new podcast on all platforms, sponsored by Dayton 24/7 now, all right? Appreciate you, and tap in.
What do you want to do next in your
What's up? We're here in the lab, SE Live 365 podcast. New season on the way on TV style, so make sure y'all lock in with that. I'm here with the Sidney Yellow Jackets in the building. What's up, guys?
How you doing? Just waiting on you.
Waiting on me. Right. Coach. We waiting on you, man.
What you want?
We waiting to watch that film.
I got it.
You
got
got
one
the
for
film?
everybody.
30 years ago, the highest scoring game in OHSA history happened.
And no one knows the real score.
And nobody knows the story. It's one of those
Charted.
just, you know, like, it's become like a lore, you know, it's like people, oh man, yeah, I remember that game. I was at that game, you know. Or
Saturday
it was a
night,
Saturday,
December 11th.
December 11th, Coach. You guys come to Colonel White High School, and we're just playing a out of conference game here. You know, just a little tussle between two teams that play a that started playing a different style of game than what was going on back then, Coach. You guys were a fast-paced team, shot a lot of threes. The Kentucky Wildcat Patino style a little bit.
Loyola
I would say.
Marymount.
Loyola Marymount, right. Talk about that and how that kind of played into the way that you guys...
Well, it was my second year in Sidney, and we were adamant that we were going to get a shot off every 7 seconds and make you shoot every 7 seconds. That was our goal. And we would trade you 3 for 2. We'd give you a layup for a 3 at the other end, as long as we could get the pace going the way we wanted it. Well, you had no problem playing at that pace.
It was more Arkansas style, right?
Because of the press.
Pressing like crazy, trying to, like you say, speed it up. when y'all come into the game, y'all have a pretty good record at the time. We're both pretty decent at the time. We were
You were real good.
we were good.
Yeah.
We were real good that year for sure. But I know you guys were still pretty good. What are y'all thinking when y'all come into the game?
Well, we came in. We had lost our point guard, Billy. Had some young kids playing. Gavin and Chris Elsner were just sophomores, which gave us an opportunity to step up as upperclassmen. But I remember, walking into the game and just thinking, okay, we're gonna get it up and down the court. And I'm pretty sure that if the refs let us bounce the ball off the wall instead of taking it out of bounds, we would have done that. And we were ready to go.
That was a frantic game, to say the least, Coach. What do you, we're in the game. We're at the gym. Our gym was distinct.
Yeah.
You
for
walked
sure.
into the gym, you're like, what kind of gym is this?
So we walk in, and we all got our bags and stuff, and we have to go through metal detectors. Ain't none of us seen metal detectors before. They ain't none of them. I mean, they didn't have
Welcome
them
to
at the
the new era.
airport in the '90s, and we're walking into school with the metal detectors. We're looking around. We're kind of a little bit scared. Like, what are we coming into here? But once the ball gets out there, we just played.
The atmosphere was crazy.
Yeah.
There was about 600 people there, but over time, 6,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
People start going,
Yeah.
we had the LA Laker crowd,
Yeah.
Coach. People would, if it wasn't a Friday night, now if it was Friday night, it was chill.
Right.
But on a Saturday, as some people, they had to get dressed up and get ready.
I don't know how many people came up to me. Yeah, I was at that game. No, you weren't. There wasn't nobody back there for us.
Well, that's what people, because they want to be a part of something special. Now, early in the game, like we're scoring at a high pace, and you guys are like, wow, we get a lead a little bit, and then you guys come back. At halftime, what do you say to them, Coach?
All I said was keep playing like you're playing, because they're going to keep shooting. We just hope they miss more than they did the first half. They will keep playing our pace. If we continue to hit shots, we'll be in it at the end.
So in this, at halftime, you're like, what are you thinking?
I just thought we came out and we just kept competing. I thought we did a little bit better job of handling the ball and not turning the ball over in the second half. Chris made some shots. Gavin made some shots at key times. And I just, it hurt us a little bit that John Engel, our big guy, was in foul trouble there, but he came back in and gave us a big lift as well.
Shout out to Big John. I remember Big John Engel, big boy. He was our big boy, Coach.
Yeah.
When the game's over, we've ran about 30 miles up and down, back and forth, highlights, left and right. I mean, I seen some of the shots you guys were making. They were crazy. I mean, there were a lot of people that was on that day, right? The game's over, Coach. You look up at the score, and it says 130 to 123. And it's like,
I got some on that. So
I mean, yeah.
that was normal for us. We were talking about it on the way
Right,
down here.
right.
It was
That was a normal game for you guys.
I mean, not quite that bad, but
Yeah.
we played y'all the next year. It was like 110 to 102 or something like that, and we got y'all, by the way.
I got it. In overtime. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that one more than the other one.
I remember them both for different reasons. That last one, it was a super snowy. My senior year was snowy night.
Yeah.
We was in y'all gym. It was packed house. It was a great vibe. Y'all did beat us overtime for sure. I do remember that. I had a few points that game as well. But it wasn't enough. But 30 years later, Coach, we can sit here and laugh about that game, right?
This segment was sponsored by First Amendment Network, Beauty by Danny LLC, and Dana's Soul Food Kitchen, where love is our first ingredient.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back in the lab, SC Live 365. Special thanks to Dayton 24/7 Now for giving me the chance to do the show, 50 Years of Dayton Hoops. on ABC at 11 a.m. Now, the business spotlight, which we do, which is really going to be a big thing as we see, is something that we decided to do with the 50 years of Dayton Hoops, where we spotlight different businesses all throughout Ohio and the Midwest. And today we have a client from the 614, and we're going to let her introduce herself and let her know what her product is.
Hi. So my name is Amanda, but everybody know me in the Columbus area as Make a Change 63.
Okay.
We are the First Amendment Network. We are a multimedia and entertainment company, the first and one and only entertainment company in history that you will find. We own our own network channel, radio station, film production. We also have our record label, and we have studios where we rent out space.
All right. Okay. Hey, let's clap it up for Mr. Manning now. Let's go. All right. All right. Now, how did you get into the multimedia?
Well, I started off with just on TikTok and YouTube doing my podcast. It was at the moment of when COVID had hit. I was a nursing assistant for a long time, and I ended up getting COVID. And so with me trying to get the help for myself, I kind of got shadow banned, and I hate when somebody tell me I can't say what I need to say or try to mute me. So that's the reason why I came up with First Amendment, is to let people know that on our platform, you don't get shadow banned for speaking out. You could be different, you could be unique. You don't have to worry about no judgment zone, because we welcome everybody at First Amendment Network.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, how you achieved success. Congratulations on what you're doing.
Thank you.
And what's some of the goals that you have moving forward with First Amendment?
So I want to give a shout out to my guy Cannon over there, who is my business partner.
Right. Shout out to Cannon.
So what we're hoping to move forward is we're hoping to build unity. Also, to have a platform that welcomes our Black generation in a positive way, and also to let people know during this trying time that we can all be different, we can all think different, but we all can come together and make money together.
Yeah, because that's sometimes you get money like, man, get on, it's my money. I ain't sharing it, but we gotta work together if we want to win together, right?
Yeah.
And this is the one thing about Network and Chill. Let's kind of transition into that. Network and Chill, how did you get involved with them, and what's it been like working with them?
Well, so Nish had hit me up during our Instagram, and she came to our office space and stuff like that and wanted to network with us. Then she introduced us to Peanut Them, and I think it was a fantastic group to see a lot of Black entrepreneurs together. And especially I came at the right time, because I've been getting a lot of backlash from my Black people when I'm trying to bring a product. So I was at the point to think that, oh, Black people don't know how to stick together, until I came to the Network and Chill, and I see there was a lot of like-minded Black folks like me, and everybody trying to work together and trying to grow together, and it's been phenomenal.
Congratulations on that. Sometimes you just have to, it might not come when you want it to, but you just have to stay patient, and eventually you hit your stride.
Yeah.
Now, what do you special? You guys have a variety of different areas, but is there one area that you really have thrived in, or are you just trying to grow it slowly and steadily?
We trying to grow it slowly and steadily, because this is a multi-million-dollar company in the making, and we're making history during this hard time. So, you can't go fast. You got to take your time and cross all your T's and dot all your I's.
No question. No question. I mean, business is cutthroat, and if you don't have all your T's crossed, I's dotted, it ain't gonna work out.
No, it's not.
So definitely, that's you got the structure down, and so now you have the team, and so now you just continue to grow. Now, have you worked with some different artists, or like what you guys do videos and things like that?
We do a lot of things. Like I said, we're a multimedia company. Has never happened in generation. We are the first one to do it. So I wanted a one-stop shop for media entertainment to where artists, small business could come to us and they could get everything that they need in one spot at affordable price. So if you want a music video, we got you. If you need marketing, we got you. We have our own film production. Also, we have our record label. Well, we just signed our first artist to First Amendment Network. We have our own network channel. Go to Fire TV Android to check out First Amendment Network and Make a Change network as well. So we have 2 broadcasting network channels and 2 radio stations.
All right, where you working? I see you setting up the foundation.
Yeah, we are out in Columbus, Ohio, 1495 Marsh Road. You can find us at Suite B2 or in 209.
Now, if you're going to go to a sporting event, where you going?
Are you going to come right here?
Sporting event.
A sporting event?
Yeah, like if you're going to a game. No.
Oh, okay.
Like a sports game, woman. Like a hoop game.
Well, I know about the
game.
sports and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
not really
a major
Let's
sports
go now.
fan, but I would definitely want to go check out like the
Ohio State.
the Ohio
Buckeyes.
State basketball, the Buckeyes.
The basketball or the football? Now, if you like basketball better than football?
I'm not a sports fan, but I'll check out both of them.
Okay. Now, just to let you know, Ohio State did win the championship. You do know they won the championship, right?
Yeah, I know
Okay,
they won.
okay,
They
okay,
won.
yeah.
They won. You know.
You a Michigan fan? Hold on. What's going on? Wait, see that? Nah, man. But appreciate you joining us on the journey as with 50 years of Dayton Hoops. We're also going to be up in Columbus working with Network and Chill. And also we're going to be doing a show up there too. So it's going to be a lot of action for you. And we're glad it's an honor to work with you. All right.
It's nice to be here, and I want to thank my man Peanut for setting this up for us.
Let's clap it up for Peanut. Come on, let's give a round of applause for Peanut. Let's go. Thanks, Peanut. Appreciate you. Special thanks to Network and Chill. With that being said, we're going to wrap it up this weekend. Be safe, be smart, have fun, make money, live. All right? First Amendment. Woo!
Do you need personalized home care services? If so, Quality Advancement of Life Skill is here for you. We are an agency provider for Department of Development Disabilities. We offer home care, personal care services, non-medical transportation, shared living housing, 24-hour client care, and so much more. We are trusted, dependable, and reliable. So don't wait. Contact us today. We can't wait to help.
So what's your name?
Micaiah Johnson.
What's the name of your business?
KJ's Food.
Is there anything else?
No, I can do anything.
It's my life. It's my life.